Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another live stream Saturday, and I hope you guys have had a great week and that your weekend has started well as well. So hello to you guys in the live chat room who I can see in there already, and let's do a quick shout out to everybody. Why not? In there we've got Joe Flip, Cindy, Chanter of the North, Ninja Kitty, Karen, Diamond Girl, Bob's in there as well, Angela, PN 1123, Sheila Sings For You, Rose is 4081, and Belladonna and Liz, and it's just gone through the top of the screen. So hello to you guys in there. Thank you for joining me tonight on what is not a really warm but a warming up evening, if you can even say that, here in the UK. And I think that the weather is going to be getting hot again. So we've just had a bit of a lull with the ridiculous temperatures for maybe a couple of weeks, and I think it's going to be getting back into the 30 degrees plus. That's what I've heard on the grapevine. And when I say grapevine, I mean on the internet and through an app on my phone that tells you what the weather's going to be like. So anyway, let me skip this advert instantly. Let's get the names of my patrons up on screen because they make this all possible in the first place. So a massive thank you to you guys. You know who you are, and these people whose names go across the bottom of the screen throughout the live streams on a Tuesday and a Saturday. They make everything possible. The analysis videos, everything that I've done in the past, all of my videos that are on this channel. So yeah, huge thank you to you. And oh, here's a thing. Before the live stream started, back in the day, and when I say back in the day, I mean maybe a couple of years ago, I tried the option at the bottom of the live chat room where it says, to interact. And normally I click on there to start the poll for the cover video. So before I did that, or should I say a couple of years ago, when I did that, if I were then to try and start the Q&A thing that's down there as well, it would get rid of the vote. So you couldn't have two things at the same time. But now it looks like on YouTube you can have two things at the same time. So we have the Q&A section. So I'll click on that a bit later and we'll see what's going on in there. But I'm just testing it really to see how it all works. And then we do have the vote for the cover video at the top of the live chat room as well. So yeah, whichever one of those songs you want to hear. And it's between Miles Away and Behind Blue Eyes. Those are the two cover choices for tonight that have been made over on patreon.com/Wings of Pegasus. So let me get the likes goal up on screen, because we are aiming for tonight 440 likes. And if we hit that target, then we'll have filled jam number 257. That is indeed correct. So if you could leave a thumbs up as you come through the door, that would be very much appreciated. And we'll see if we can get anywhere close to that target for tonight. Let's see where we are at the moment. And we are at 202 likes so far. So a good start. And it means that we're looking for 238 more people. That's the maths done for tonight. So I'm pretty sure that was right. If you could hit the thumbs up, that would be great. And if you're watching this way in the future on catch up, maybe you're watching this in, 2035, you can still hit the thumbs up, because it helps the channel to get out there a little bit more, and it still will do in 2035. But yeah, now we have had, I can see a donation in the super chat window, but I will get the donations tab up on screen, because you don't have to donate. Just watching is great. So I know that some people can't resist donating, and I think it's important that they know between 45 and 60% goes to YouTube through the super chat window, and between 3 and 5% goes to PayPal. There's a PayPal link in the description below. But yeah, just watching is great. Right. Now, the donation from Paul. Thank you for this in the super chat window, and it's a donation of $5, and the message is 497,000 subscribers. Most excellent. Let's have fun tonight and spike the likes, all y'all. Love, peace, and rock. So thank you for that, Paul. Great idea. Yep. Hit that thumbs up. We'll bust out the guitar and have a jam a little bit later on. And I think there were a couple of donations in the PayPal window, so I'll quickly just get through those, because B donated £3.57, so thank you for that. And the message is, hi Phil, which song on Persistence will you still enjoy playing in 20 years? What is your favourite cover video of yours? Right, so thank you for that. So there's two questions there. First one is probably, any of my songs, but probably That's Metal. Thinking back to, playing that live, that was always the one that was quite fun, because it had the kind of chorus that everyone could join in with, even if they didn't really know what was going on. Or even if, like my nephews, they thought it was Marshmallow and not That's Metal. Everyone can join in. So it was definitely a good one for the crowd to get involved with. So I'll say that. And my favourite cover video, I don't know. I don't think I've got a favourite cover video. The ones that I like, because they're more in my wheelhouse for stuff I listen to, are probably, the more, Mr. Mister. I've got a couple of those tunes. Dokken, I've got a couple of Dokken tracks. The Eruption solo, or just Eruption, that was good fun trying to get it down as accurately as possible, because I always say that getting it down really accurately is difficult. It's a lot easier to do your own version of it, because then you can just put in all your techniques that you like to play, and that you have a natural tendency to kind of lean towards. Everyone's got particular muscle memory sequences and motor neurons and all this kind of stuff. I don't even know if that's the right term, but everyone's got particular movements that they will inherently prefer to do rather than other movements. So when you're playing anything that's a little bit fast, you'll tend to fall into doing something that you find easier to do. And this is it, that you might play a run that somebody else really struggles to play, and then they'll play a run that you then really struggle to play. It's just all to do with what your body likes. And I think it's fast twitch muscle fibers is probably, and we're getting technical here, but fast twitch muscle fibers determine at which speed your muscles can contract and then relax and contract again. So it means that sprinters in their legs have high twitch or fast twitch muscle fibers, and they've got a high amount of them within their muscles. So they're firing off really quickly. Some people don't have a lot of fast twitch muscle fibers in their legs or in their whole body, in their arms and in their wrist flexors and all this kind of stuff. So it means that for some people, particular movements, that particular muscle might have more fast twitch muscle fibers in it, so you can get it to fire off more quickly. And then there might be a particular finger that you've got, and you can't move that very quickly at all because it doesn't have the capacity to do that. It doesn't have fast twitch muscle fibers. So anyway, and this is why, again, getting technical, but I did study sports science, sport and exercise science at college and university, and I was a personal trainer. So I'll be able to tell you that in the studies that they've done, the whole reason they found out about this is that marathon runners all have slow twitch muscle fibers. And what does that mean? It means that it fires off more slowly, but it can keep going for a lot longer, rather than fast twitch is just, firing off rapidly for a short amount of time. So, anyway, getting technical there. But when you're talking about, playing things on the guitar and, playing things fast, trying to get your muscle memory to do it, then there'll be particular movements that you will prefer to do. And going back to Eruption, that's what I was saying, that a lot of guitarists just do their own thing rather than trying to do the things that Eddie Van Halen did and try and get them exactly the same, which is the hardest thing to do, because now you're trying to imitate and emulate somebody's own personal muscle memory in their hand and their arm. Trying to get it exactly right is so difficult to kind of get the phrasing and everything correct as well. So a lot of people do covers of Eruption, and it's kind of got the tapping in there, but then everything else is like, well, no, you've gone off course there to play. It's like the road is really difficult, but then if you go off the road, it's a lot easier. So that you kind of take a little journey over here, play all your favorite techniques, come back on the road for the tapping, go off the road for all your own techniques. So it is interesting to listen to sometimes, what people's covers of Eruption. But anyway, that was it. Thank you for that, Beatrice, or B, as Beatrice or B. B, slightly more informal. Right, let's move on, because we had another donation, and this is Steve, who's donated £5. So thank you for this, Steve. And the message is, how does sitting down or standing up change the way that you play? So thank you for that, Steve. And I think pretty much sitting down and standing up, for me personally, doesn't really change the way that I play. But that's because I know the difference, or the lack of difference there should be, from where you're sitting down to then standing up. And I mean, this is a top tip that I gave out years ago, where people play the guitar and they do all of their practice sitting down. So when they then go to play live, they'll stand up, and guess what? They haven't thought to get their guitar at the same height as it is when you're sitting down practicing. So you can have your guitar on your thigh, and when you're practicing, when you stand up, just hold the guitar and stand up and see where it is on your body. Wherever it is on your body, make your strap that length, so that it's in the same place that you've been used to, that your muscle memory's got used to the angles and where the strings are. So yeah, that's a huge problem. Sometimes people practice and then they go and play live and it's like maybe like six inches lower, so now they're having to reach underneath the guitar and they can't reach the notes as they normally can. So obviously there's a trade-off between hand size. Generally, people that have larger hands can have the guitar down lower because it means that they can reach around the back of the guitar, around the neck more easily, so they're not going to suffer so much. Whereas if you've got smaller hands, the lower you have the guitar, the less you can play. So I've said before about players, or like a tip for players, if you are having some more technical passages that you have to play through, if you can lift the guitar into a more vertical position, then you'll get access to the notes more easily because you don't have to go down and underneath the guitar, you're just coming around the guitar. So yeah, that's something that, Slash is a big guy anyway, so he hasn't got small hands, but even he, for his stretches, will lift the guitar up vertically so that he can get his little finger to where he needs to get it to. So yeah, if you're worried about the way it looks, then you'll have to practice playing your guitar, having it low down and making sure that your playing doesn't suffer. But if you're not bothered about having your guitar a bit higher up, then yeah, just adjust it at a comfortable height and one that replicates all of the practice, because it's totally pointless to spend 3, 4, 5 hours a day practicing getting everything down, and then when you go and play live, you're standing up and the guitar's not in the same position. And this is why, if you're watching classical players, their guitar, obviously they're not jumping around on a stage, but their guitar is not moving because it is so important to keep it in exactly the same position so that all of the movements and all of the the frets and the strings are in exactly the same place as all of the hours practice. As soon, if you said to a classical guitarist, right, now play your favorite piece, but wear it on a guitar that's going to now be down at your thighs, especially because of the size of the classical guitar's neck being thicker, they'll say, but I physically can't play it down there. And that's what it all boils down to, that you've got to make it as easy to play as possible. But yeah, if you want to try and look cool, or you think it looks cooler having the guitar lower down, then you're going to have to make sure you don't compromise your actual playing, because nobody's really going to think, oh, that guitarist, they can't play the guitar, but they look really cool. Nobody ever really cares about that. Everyone only ever cares about what it sounds like. So yeah, there have been plenty of guitarists that have had the guitar higher up on their body and are just amazing players, and people don't say, oh yeah, they're amazing, they've absolutely melted my face, but I don't accept it because their guitar was too high. That's it. And then you've got all the way back to the 50s and the 60s, where they would have the guitars really high up. It was almost kind of higher than it would be when you're sitting practicing with it over your thigh. So anyway, thank you for that, Steve. So yeah, it doesn't change the way that I play standing up or sitting down. So and it shouldn't really affect anybody. But thank you, Karen, as well, who's donated £6.25. And the message is, hi Phil, congratulations on hitting 497,000 subscribers, 3,000 until the big 500,000. I'd like to share a quote from the author, Dr. Wayne Dyer. Practice being the kind of person you wish to attract. Do you agree, disagree, have an opinion on this? I'm enjoying your analysis videos. Many thanks for all you do and for being you. Cheers, Karen. So thank you for that. And I think, with that particular quote, as long as that's what you're like, if you want to attract a particular person and it's not your personality, then if you attract that person, you're going to be in trouble, because it means then you're going to have to keep up this act for the rest of your life potentially. So yeah, I just say, yeah, just be yourself and just try and be a good human, and then hopefully you'll attract another good human, and then everything will be fine. So thank you for that, Karen. And right, we're now up to date in the PayPal window. So there have been some donations in the Super Chat window as well. And it was Karen again who donated $10. So thank you for that. And the message is, Phil, just for fun, which would you choose? A flying robot that cleans your house, or a 5-star chef robot that cooks you meals? And why? Curious minds are inquiring. Cheers, Karen. I don't believe for a second anyone has asked that question. Maybe I'll have to check the questions list. But I don't believe anyone's asked that question in the live chat room. I fail to believe that. But again, surely you'd choose the cook, because then you get really nice meals all the time. So there you go, rather than a flying robot that cleans the house, because I can clean the house, that's fine. But I can't do 5-star meals because, I haven't got that ability, and it takes a long time to cook a meal, whereas just quickly hoovering something is fine. We're doing like a 5-star meal. I'd say can take a very long time, half an hour or longer. But there you go. Thank you for that. And Sono F. Oh, son of nothing has donated $2. Thank you for that. I was going to say Sono, and I thought nothing. What's going on there? Right, Taylor or Martin? So, I don't know, but I would have to say probably. I was going to say probably Martin, because I've played more Martins. But thinking, I think, well, I haven't played a lot of Taylors or Martins, so yeah. I don't think I'll be able to choose between the two. And one thing that I will say, not that it's again a guitar that I played a lot, but they had Takamine guitars in the shop that I worked in many years ago. Wow, it's like 20 years ago now. The guitar shop where I used to teach guitar, and yeah, so between lessons I could go out and try out all the guitars, the electric guitars, the acoustic guitars, and yeah, I would go out and try loads of guitars. And the Takamine guitars, they were thousands, absolutely thousands of pounds. And sometimes I think, well, I prefer, the Yamaha or something. Something that's like 200 or 300 quid. I would prefer the feel of the way that particular guitar played. So yeah, I learned at that stage that it's not really about how much the guitar costs. It's about what it feels like to play. So I can't say that I have played a hell of a lot of either Taylors or Martins. So yeah, I wouldn't really be able to choose between those two. So either will do. Karen has donated $5 as well, so thank you for that, Karen. And the message, it's a straight up donation, but there's another donation underneath from Karen for $10. Thank you for that. And the message is, I'm not getting the option to vote for the cover video this time. Voting for Miles Away, even if it doesn't count. So thank you for that. And I don't know why that's happened. Maybe you did an accidental vote, not knowing that you've clicked on it or something. But I've never attended my own live stream to see how to vote and do that stuff in the live chat room. So apologies for that, but there's no way that I can fix it. But thank you for that message. And I guess if it's 50-50, then we'll have to choose Miles Away, because we'll know that there's one vote that hasn't counted. So, Natural Pro 2003 has donated $2. So thank you for that. And the message is, this is late, but spike the likes, subscribe with some thumbs up. So thank you for that. Natural Pro 2003, and I'm wondering if that is actually Orlando in disguise, trying to sneak into. I mean, it might not be, but I'm just throwing it out there that it might be Orlando sneaking into the super chat window. But yeah, thank you for that. Right, almost 11:30 here in the UK, and I'm trying to figure out if I've done everything. I feel like I've forgotten to do something, but Angela says I don't see the cover song choice either. So maybe we're going to have a bit of an investigation into this. So, well, 271 people so far have voted in the cover video window. So, yeah, maybe like what I just did there was I clicked on the cover video thing at the top, and it now expands, and then you can click, well, you should be able to click on whichever one you want. So if you're not clicking on it and expanding it, then that is probably the reason why you're not getting any option. So as for the questions and answers, the Q&As, I have to maybe jump into that or see if it works or not. Elaine says, I can see the cover video poll. And Liz says it didn't pin it. Right, so yeah, you'll have to try and figure out what's going on. But yeah, it is a bit of an experiment for tonight. Now, the other thing is that the new merch store is linked with my YouTube channel. So it is working. But at the moment, it's not really showing the kinds of products that like it's showing a Wings of Pegasus pin. I'm assuming that's like a badge or something. A Wings of Pegasus bag, and it's like just not a plastic bag, but one of those. It looks like a bag for life that we call it here. That you take yourself to the shopping centre and put all your stuff in there, so you don't need to reuse plastic bags all the time. So that's the second thing. And lastly, a pair of Wings of Pegasus shorts. So those are the three items that if I were now to change the stores from the spring.com store to now, Dashery is what it's called. If I was to change to that store, then the only options you'd have would be a badge, some shorts, and whatever else I just said, which I can't remember. It's so random that, yeah. I have to try and figure out how to change it to other items or to link it. But I only looked at it really quickly before I started the live stream. So it's something that I will rectify maybe after this live stream. And hopefully you get the t-shirts and the hoodies there. So, yeah, Karen said it was a bag. So this is it. There's such random products that, I couldn't remember it. But at least there are products there. Maybe people will like a bag or some shorts or a badge. Who knows? But anyway, I'm just going to skip that advert and pop into the PayPal window because Lisa has donated in there £10. Thank you for that, Lisa. And the message is non-existent because that's a straight up donation. So thank you for that, Lisa W. Now, yes, so I can see that I was a bit small on my screen. Is that G87 or GII7? It's too small, but I can see that it says the merch link still goes to Spring, not your new store. So yeah, that's exactly what I just said, is that the only items on the new store are those three items. So those would then take the place of the t-shirts and the hoodies and all that kind of stuff. And Spring, it is still a store that does work. It's just that, yeah, unfortunately they've taken a very long time to deliver some items. So that's why I was looking at something that's going to be a little bit more speedy with the deliveries, getting the orders out. So I'm going to change it over to the other store when I can get the t-shirts and the hoodies and all that kind of stuff on YouTube, so people can at least go to the things that they like, because I know that some people are asking about t-shirts and hoodies. They seem to be the most popular items. But Anyway, Natural Pro 2003 has donated $5. Thank you for that. And the mystery's been solved. It wasn't a mystery. Orlando says, yup, this is Orlando. Technical names instead of chosen handle names show up on the chat. So thank you for that. And I'll tell you a new thing that's just kicking off in the live chat room. So Orlando Natural Pro 2003 has just donated $5, and now whenever Natural Pro 2003 is tagged, it's come up in a big green, I was going to say sausage shape, but it's probably there's probably an official name for it, but it's just on a, I should have just said it's on a backdrop. The username's on a backdrop of green. So there you go. Maybe lots of people can tag Natural Pro 2003 and we'll see how many green names we can get going up and down the live chat room. Why not? So, right. I might jump into the Q&A thing, but I don't know how to do that. Let me click on this. Right, it just says, at the top, we can go to questions here. Yeah, a banner would have been more accurate for me to have said earlier. So yeah, a banner and not a banger. So yeah, we call sausages bangers here. So I was close. A banner, not a banger. Right. Let's jump into, I'm going to click on this questions thing. And now everything's big at the top of the live chat room, so I can't really see anything. And okay, right, now it's gone down. Okay, right, we've got some questions here. This is a bit of an oversight by YouTube because the first questions are underneath the vote and underneath the Q&A thing. Now, I did copy and paste the first bits, which I can look at now. So Liz said, how are you, Wings of Pegasus? It works fine. I'm fine. Thank you. Elaine says, how's the hair, Phil? The hair is fine. Thank you. So, but I have noticed when I was setting up the live stream, I thought, hang on, my hair is getting quite long now. And it's one of those things that you suddenly realise, or I suddenly realise, I go for weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks without really noticing. And then suddenly once I notice that, yeah, if this, and this is with it being all fluffy and a bit curly, if I was to straighten this hair, where do we go down to? It'll be going down to into the Batman symbol of my shirt. So yeah, it is getting very long at the moment. But I still got quite a few weeks until a haircut. So yeah, we'll see what happens with that. And Living for Your Glory says it's working. Health update. Health update. Oh, now this is a bit of a health update. So my arm's been feeling a bit better, and last week sometime I did some light resistance training on shoulders, triceps, and chest. And then I waited 4 or 5 days, because that's, I don't know why, but that's how long it takes for my ligaments and tendons to either say, right, that was okay, or it wasn't quite okay and we need to recover again. And that felt okay. So then I did some very light biceps, back, lower, like upper back, lower back, and abs. I did abs the time before. I generally always do those, but I did that yesterday, and now I'm waiting 4 or 5 days. So I'm going through each movement very lightly, with very light weights, and seeing if each movement either aggravates the ligaments or tendons or not, and seeing what I can do and seeing then what I can't do. So at the moment, hopefully, fingers crossed, if everything's if everything's okay in 4 or 5 days, it means that I can do the movements, yeah, albeit with really light weights, but I can do the movements that I used to do all the time when I was regularly working out. So that'd be good if, yeah, I can slowly build up, you know, going back to, you know, doing a regular workout, you know, regimen, or I was going to say regime, but yeah, I think that's and this, I think actually people do use regime when they talk about doing things at the gym, but for me that just fires off images of you know, army and political takeovers and all that kind of stuff, yeah, having regimes going on. So yeah, I think, is regimen the right word? Anyway, program, there you go. I could go back to doing my normal workout program that I used to do, like 5 years ago now. I did this, I think, in 2021. So yeah, it would have been, that was 4 years ago, and it would have been maybe, yeah, 5 years ago that I was properly working out, and then it all went downhill from there. So that's the update. Now, the thing is about the update is that I can feel, but this is the good thing, not ligaments and tendons in my forearm, but I can feel DOMS, delayed onset of muscle soreness, in my bicep. So it means that my bicep hasn't lifted anything, at least it hasn't worked out. It hasn't lifted anything continually for about 4 years. So my left arm isn't too bad, because obviously I've been using that instead for like 4 years. So now that I've actually done some movement with my right arm to resistance, then yeah, it's starting, well, it's telling me that, yeah, we haven't been worked in about 4 years. So we will see, fingers crossed, ligaments and tendons will be fine, and I can get back to really light workout, just up the weight. I think in order to recover properly, I'm going to have to do the workout, and then 2 days later I do another workout. That's what I used to do. So yeah, I'm just going to have to maybe limit the recovery time and see if I can gradually rein it in so that my ligaments and tendons strengthen at the same rate, and it'll all be fine. But we'll see. So yeah, positive report at the moment, and we'll see how it goes. And Waitress68 says, "Hi Phil, I hope it works to make your life a bit easier." So yeah, and Diamond Girl 1234 said, "Is this thing working or not?" So yes, it is working. And TG Sunflower 79 says, "Will you still do the live jam after you go through all the ones you've had?" So thank you for that. And this is the thing, that Joe just sends me random stuff all the time. So I don't think we've had any repeats. But even if there were repeats, I wouldn't be able to tell, because to me, I don't remember them. I just play over the top of whatever it is, and then we get into the next one. Maybe if it was maybe the same one in the same week that I've noticed, but yeah, we've had way too many. So that, yeah, even if I've played over one that I've played over before, it will still be like new to me, because I won't, you know, if somebody said, right, what was the Phil Jam number 123? I don't know. So yeah, but Joe's always sending me new ones, so I guess new ones are being made all the time on YouTube. But Diamond Girl 1234 says, "Is this working, Phil?" Yes, it is working. Dina says, you did not go into music. What other hobby would you have done? So, if is making up part of the username here. That's why I didn't spot that. So if I weren't doing music, I would have been doing football, soccer, as you call it over in the USA. Because, yeah, I got quite far with that until I was 20, or 19 or 20. Then I gave it up to try and pursue the music, because I just enjoyed music more. But I think I'd probably, like at my age now, be into either coaching or management, maybe, if I had to do that, because of my analytical mind. And yeah, there are some things that I know, because you know, I played football for a very long time. Watching teams on TV, I know that I could improve the team by implementing certain things. I used to do coaching as well when I was in my late teens, so I did a lot of coaching, and yeah, I know that I could improve lots of teams, either with coaching or management as well. So that's what I would have probably gone into, because I enjoy analysing things and analysing percentages and decisions and things that people choose to do. And it even happens in the professional game where professional players are still making wrong choices. And you can tell their coaching isn't good enough, because they can make a decision where I can say that player should have never made that decision, because they're clearly not aware of the percentage chance of one thing happening and another thing happening. And this is it, that, yeah, I would take the team and I would give them all a lesson on decision making. And in football, I mean, it's crazy, because the decision, I don't know whether people will know what I'm talking about with football or soccer, but the difference between passing the ball back to your goalkeeper, who then might be under pressure from a striker, and then just kicking the ball out for a throw-in, the difference in those decisions, like somebody, like a professional, will still pass it back to the goalkeeper, not knowing the percentage chance that there will be for him to either get the pass that he's about to do to get blocked, for him to miscontrol it, therefore potentially get tackled by the striker, who will then score an easy goal. So yeah, so many decisions that if you kick the ball out of play, you can now regroup. You can get into your shape and nobody's going to score. It's such a low risk move to put it out for throw-in and regroup. But yes, so many professionals. But that's just one example. There are thousands upon thousands of examples around a football pitch where players are constantly making the wrong choices. And of course, I'm looking at this thinking, I could coach these to be a lot better. But I'm doing music. I'm doing analysis videos and analysing live music performances instead. But if I weren't doing that, then that's what I would get into. Coaching teams to be better at football, but just better decision makers, like as a team. Anyway, yeah, that was that. Living for Your Glory says, how are you feeling? Yeah, good, thanks. Still a little bit of the cough going on, but it is gradually going away. Diamond Girl 1234 says, tying on my phone. That's maybe supposed to be typing. Angela says, did you have a peaceful evening? So thank you for that. And relatively peaceful. It's just always pretty much the same thing. Like, I don't think I ever think, oh right, I'm gonna have a peaceful evening, because I'll just be doing this. If I stop, if peaceful means not doing anything, then I know that means tomorrow is going to be really stressful trying to catch up with messages. So yeah, it's never a peaceful thing, but it's just a normal kind of evening that I usually have. And Diamond Girl 1234 again says, what kind of golf balls do you like best? I like the ones that go in the hole in minimal shots, but I think I have Wilson something or others. I'm not really an expert on golf balls or golf, but it's something like Wilson Tour something. And there are different versions. You've got, not that I think that makes too much difference, but you've got ones that are supposed to go further when you hit them, and other ones that are better for being around the green, for the feel of the weight of the ball and all that kind of stuff. And I think the ones that I've got are for the feel around the green, and they don't go very far, but then I think when I've used the balls that are supposed to go far, they go exactly the same distance. So yeah, I don't think there's too much in it, to be honest. But Ninja Kitty says, I don't want to ask anything, so thank you for that. Obviously in the wrong place. Angela says, how old are you really? So even though I might look a lot, hang on, a lot older, I'm trying to figure out the right way of saying it. Although I might look a lot older, I am in fact only 42 years of age. So thank you for that. And Living for Your Glory says, Phil, can you see my question? Because I can't. Yes, I can see it. Diamond Girl says hello. Linda says, Phil, hope all is well. Thank you for that. Alonso says, did you change the strings on the gem yet? So no, or did I? I'm now questioning myself. Did I change the string? I don't think I have. I changed the strings on the Strat. But the Strat seems to be the one that's plugged in most of the time that I just grab for the fill jams. I don't think I changed the strings on the Gem. I'm second guessing myself, but I'm going to say no, I haven't yet. And Ninja Kitty just sent a rose, which technically isn't a question. Susie Q says, my question is, will you analyze Mammoth, Wolf Van Halen's band? So yeah, I mean, if I have got a request for it and people have sent me the links to the particular video to look at, then yes, I can do that. Kimberly says, what are some of your favourite melodic rock songs that seldom got radio play? So thank you for that. And I'd say this is pretty much from me, Mr. Mister in a nutshell, because yeah, I really like Mr. Mister's sound. You could even say Level 42 as well, but I'm not sure people would necessarily class that as melodic rock. So it'll be Mr. Mister and, you know, like Don't Slow Down, one of the tunes that I've covered. And I think Broken Wings is probably the tune that gets most airplay. But yeah, I just like, what about Kyrie Eleison as well? That's, yeah, well, when I say Kyrie Eleison, that's all due to the live chat room and learning how to say Kyrie Eleison. But yeah, I wouldn't say that Mr. Mister, certainly here in the UK, get a lot of radio airplay, like even on you know, rock radio stations. So they kind of fall in the gap between, which is a shame. But yeah, there you go. So I would say not just rock songs, but as a general rule of thumb for the band, Mr. Mister don't get a lot of their songs played. Right, and yes, Ninja Kitty asked if it's working. It is working. PJP said, were you able to see my earlier comment? I can see this one. B says, getting the rainbow spiral of death when I try to comment or ask a question. What is happening? I don't know. And Kyrie Eleison says, how are you? So yes, I'm fine, thanks. So as we're just testing this out and I'm working my way through it, obviously people are just asking whether it's working or not, but it is working. So maybe it's something I can do in the future, just set this up and people can ask questions and I can access more questions that have happened in the live chat room. And maybe it's good for people to go through there. Now, obviously, with the amount of questions that there are, I've just copied and pasted those ones. But looking over here, all right, so this is the list that's being added to all the time. So there are quite a lot of questions. So it might not be possible to go through all of them. So I will just pick out a few more questions because there are a lot of them. And let me scroll down. Let's see. Joe says, what day is it? So there you go. Very easy question. It's Saturday here, soon to be Sunday in only 9 minutes time. And Jeremy says, when paying for a concert, do you pay for the actual show or live vocals? So, I mean, in my opinion, I think it's all the same thing. That live vocals are part of the show because that's the thing that is happening live and the thing that you're interacting with. I say it's happening live. I'm like talking about when somebody is singing live, then you're interacting with that person in real time. If they're not singing live, then you're not interacting with anybody because that voice happened in a studio, you know, maybe 6 months ago. So yeah, and not a lot can happen spontaneously if somebody's just singing along to a pre-recorded song. Right, and going down, there's another one from Jeremy. It says, do you think the high production value of modern shows have ruined the purpose of concerts? People very rarely attend to hear someone sing, but rather the theatrics and visual effects, fire, etc. I mean, again, that's all about the particular artist you're going to see, whether they're actually that bothered about performing live or whether they don't really mind miming, you know, lip syncing and maybe not, they might not even play an instrument themselves. They might not play guitar or keys or anything. So they're quite happy just to kind of move around. And yeah, some people are quite happy to pay for that as well. But I've been thinking about this over the last few weeks, that maybe in the future it'll get to the point where there are particular shows that, this hopefully further down the line with Authentic Vocal will help to make this clearer. But there'll be particular shows which are not as live, might be lip sync, might be mimed, might be mimed from an instrumental perspective as well, might all be a backing track. And those particular shows cost a particular amount of money because of what it is. Because generally, this is what happens in life, that you pay for the real deal. Like when something is the genuine article, that fetches more money because it is genuine. It's not something that's potentially fake or misleading or anything like that. So if people know what they're buying, they can go and pay for a particular show that they know is mostly going to be about the show. It's going to be pre-recorded, and when people then might be into the live thing, people might want to, or they might think that paying more money to watch something that's genuinely live and happening there on the night, that they might think that they will pay more money for that. I don't know how people's minds work, but I think some people do see more value in that, in like a genuinely authentic artist performing live just for them on that evening with something that is unique, and it is going to be unique on that evening for the rest of time. It was just a moment in time, rather than something that's going to be loaded up the next night and just the same thing night after night after night and after night, because it's just a backing track that's playing and a pre-recorded vocal. So at the moment nobody's any the wiser as to what they're watching, so they are paying the huge bucks to then watch something that they might notice is lip synced, and they think, well, what am I paying all this money for? And then the people say, oh, well, you're paying for the show. And so, well, no, I'm not. I'm paying for a live show, not a show, because I can watch a show on TV if I want to. I want a live show. It all depends about how you call one thing, or what you determine as being a live show when you pay money for it. But right, let's just scroll down, and it looks like okay, Orlando says, let me skip this advert. When bitter soccer team rivals play a match, are fights among fans guaranteed to break out? Not really. I wouldn't say in this current day and age that kind of thing happens anymore. Maybe back in the 70s, 80s, 90s maybe. But I think, that's left football for the most part now, I'd say. Unless you just got people who are looking for trouble. I think genuine football fans don't really bother about getting involved with fights and all that kind of stuff. So, let me just check in the super chat donation window, because I might have lost track of where we are with that. And we had Karen's donation and Orlando's donation. And Karen donated $2. Thank you for that. And the message was, Phil, how short are the wings of Pegasus shorts? Hot pants, laugh out loud. No, they're just normal. They look like guys' shorts, so down to your knee. I don't know if they have other versions of it. But then Once Bitten has donated $19.99. Thank you for that. And the message is, I would love you to do an analysis of the vocalizing on Pat Metheny's First Circle live in Japan. It's one of my favorite songs. I truly enjoy your program. So thank you for that. And if you want to make any requests for future analysis videos, it's probably a good idea, as well as on the live streams, to send them to requests@wingsofpegasus.com, because that's now my official line for requests, because the requests were just going crazy all over the place, all over every social media site that I've got, and I couldn't keep track of all of them. So now I've streamlined it to that email address. So yeah, that's the place to send them. But thank you for that. And Paul's donated $2 and says, "Spike those likes, all y'all. We need a Phil Jam." So thank you for that. Good idea. If you can hit the thumbs up, we're looking for 11 more people, and it's 7 minutes and 17 seconds. Right, so I'm gonna have to get through this quickly. Kyrie Lason says, "Singing my song," with a $2 donation, so thank you for that. And Elaine donated $2. It says, "You so don't look older than 42, not even look 32." So thank you for that. Totoro Polko donated $6.99. Says, "Can't stay for live stream, but happy to donate. Not a failure to resist, but more a matter of persistence." So thank you for that. And Orlando, oh, here we go. Orlando has another YouTube account, has donated $2, so thank you for that. And it says, "Another thumbs up from my other account. Hit that thumbs up." So thank you for that. And maybe Orlando is trying to, I don't know, evade the government or something with lots of different YouTube accounts. I'm sure that's not it. But thank you for all of the donations in the Super Chat window. And let's see. I'm going to end the poll for the cover video. And we'll end the Q&A because, yeah, we haven't got any more time for that. But, what are we going to see here? Behind Blue Eyes, 52% of the vote. So we will be jumping into my version of The Who classic, as I always say. And then if we get 2 more people, we'll jump into a Phil Jam and bust the guitar out. So, yeah, I will see you guys in a second and hope you enjoyed this rock.
No one knows what it's like to be the bad man, to be the sad man behind blue eyes. No one knows what it's like to be hated, to be fated, to telling only lies. But my dreams, they are just empty, as my conscience seems to be. I have hours only lonely. My love is vengeance, it's never free.
And there we have it. That was my version of Behind Blue Eyes. And I can't remember if at the end of that video I then start talking, and that's why I just cut it off. But there is a solo that I play at the end that unfortunately I think I then talk over. But anyway, let's quickly just jump into the super chat window because Diamond Girl just donated $2, so thank you for that. And the message is the guitar solo just hits hard. Thank you. So thank you for that. And quickly over on PayPal, we had a donation from Leslie for £20, so thank you for that. And the message is, hi Phil, what was the cause of your arm injury which hasn't healed yet after 4 years? It was before I became a patron. So thank you for that. And I damaged the tendon and ligament just kind of ever so slightly, and I was playing golf at the time, so I think it was probably the golf movement that was doing it in, but I thought it was just a muscular thing. So I played golf, and because I was exercising a lot, literally straight after golf I would do a workout, so it meant that I was doing a lot of heavy lifting with what I didn't know at the time was damaged ligaments and tendons. So then I'd go out and play golf again, and it would still kind of feel a bit off, and then I'd do a workout, and then I'd go and play golf, and I did a workout, and it got to the point where I thought, oh, it's quite painful now, so I'll just have a couple of weeks off and not do any golf, not do any working out. And then I realised after 2 weeks off, nothing had changed, and then after 2 months off, nothing had changed. And I thought, okay, something serious has gone on here, and yeah, 6 months, nothing had changed, and yeah. Unfortunately, this was all during COVID time as well, so I couldn't see anybody for them to say exactly what it was, but that's basically what it was. I think last year, I had, probably about a year ago now, I had a scan on it, and the specialist said that, yeah, that they can see that there's still damage there that's healing. So if they'd looked at it like the year before, it just would have been more damaged. So it is healing up. But he said it's just going to take a very long time. So it's just taken, so far 4 years. And yeah, we'll see how it gets on. Anyway, I've grabbed the guitar. We're going to be jumping into, but thank you for that, Leslie. We're going to be jumping into Phil Jam number 257. And thank you guys for hitting the thumbs up and ensuring that we have a Phil Jam tonight. Okay, right, that's on. That mic on. Zoom out. Correct. Right, let's click on this and see what happens.
Editing a video used.
Advert. Mute that. Play that. Right, this is Nanook Blues Jam Frank Zappa style guitar backing track, E minor in brackets, and this is from Now You Shred backing tracks, and the YOU is in capital letters. So let's play this, see if I can hear it, see if you can hear it, see if you can hear this. So okay, it says this track has 2 chords. Okay, this could be not too interesting for 7 minutes. Okay. Can you hear this? ending. Oh, we're almost ending. And there we have it. I had to manufacture an emergency ending there because it finished and we almost weren't ready for it. So there we have it. That was Nanook Blues Jam, Frank Zappa style guitar backing track, E minor in brackets from Now You Shred backing tracks. And it was just 2 chords. There you go, for 7 minutes and 17 seconds. Yeah, I mean, there's not too much that you could do with that because it's almost trying to push you up to the... You know, always pushing you into the same corner. But I guess it's good for practicing if you kind of want to get used to that kind of stuff, just with those 2 chords and those... particular changes. But anyway, that was that. And Orlando donated $2 and says, Frank Zappa, are you now a mother of invention? So thank you for that. And yeah, Frank Zappa, we looked at Frank years ago on the channel, but yeah, when you're talking about a unique guitarist, a unique player, certainly Frank is definitely in that bracket. But yeah, thank you, Joe, for sending that my way. And right, it is. We have actually finished, I think, perfectly on time for once. Kiri Alason donated $2 and said that was awesome, so thank you for that. And I think we're up to date with everything in the super chat window, so thank you guys for tuning in tonight. And I'm going to be here with another video tomorrow night. Look out for that. We're going to be back with another live stream Tuesday night. So if you can make it, that's where I will be at 11 p.m. Greenwich Mean Time. As always, we'll need your thumbs up to get us to the target on Tuesday as well, to have a Phil Jam, which will be Phil Jam number 258. Oh, and by the way, I didn't do this earlier, did I? 497,000 subscribers. Thank you everyone for subscribing and watching the channel and commenting on the videos, all that cool stuff. So yeah, we'll keep on pushing forward and see where we end up. But we're getting a little bit closer to 500,000, but we won't count our chickens. So hopefully I'll see you on Tuesday night. All that's left for me to say is try to stay as safe and as sane as possible in this crazy world in which we live. And Orlando donated $2 again and said that was more like a slow Stevie Ray Vaughan jam. So thank you for that. Right. Yes. Stay safe. Stay sane. And yeah, have a great weekend. And I will see you at tomorrow night's video. Rock.